Welcome to Off-Grid News, the news that's not fit to print. A North Carolina police officer has been placed on leave without pay for the unimaginable crime of talking to other police officers about something that is in clear violation of speech that is censored. Officer T.J. Smith violated policies that endangered the property of others when he told other police officers of a clinic that will issue a vaccine card without getting the shot. When asked, a representative of the officer questioned what property did he endanger. Are we saying that humans can be property again? No comment from the police department. A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. An Idaho man is facing charges of cannibalism after finding a man's body parts in the microwave that had been heated for about 1 minute. The suspect had already been arrested for the death of the 71-year-old man. The victim's genitals were the only body parts that were not located, leaving the police to believe that the suspect had consumed them. Former FBI agent Clarice Starling will be interviewing the suspect. In an effort to raise gas prices and to ensure an energy crisis worse than the one experienced during the Carter administration, ExxonMobil's oil refinery in Baytown, Texas, caught fire. When asked, Biden says, "I loved the 1970s. I was in my 30s and having the time of my life. Now I'm president. It is my responsibility to bring the country back better than President Carter did." Missouri identifies Omicron in water samples. Missouri Department of Health partnered with the Department of Natural Resources to monitor wastewater. They identified 2 wastewater systems that contained 2% of the Omicron variant. When asked, the official said, "Well, it appears no one in Missouri is going to the hospital for the sniffles. So we have to do something so we can report it to the CDC. Electric car manufacturing is running into a hiccup as the price of one key material is rising. In the past 12 months, lithium, a component for the batteries, has gone more than 250%. When asked, the Transportation Secretary said, "This has been a very difficult time. When you're trying to destroy an economy, there's always seems to be unwanted side effects." Young voters will continue to be reliable leftists in American politics, but their disdain for Joe Biden could lead to consequences for the Democrats. A poll revealed that fewer than 3 in 10 Americans under the age of 30 approved of Joe Biden's job. When asked, they said, "Dude, I thought he was going to give us free money. But I guess that was some dude called Bernie Sanders. Guess we got our old dudes confused." Fake news, get your fake news here. The media reported that an unvaccinated man between ages of 50 and 60 years old died of the Omicron. The news spread like wildfire, with all the pundits discussing the evil of the unvaccinated. But had they actually called Harris County, Texas Health Department, they would have learned that the man between the ages of 50 and 60 with underlying conditions and infected with Omicron did die. But they could not confirm he died from Omicron. It appears his underlying condition would have been a more likely cause, but nothing is definite yet. One Texas man said, "Don't you miss the days when Trump would stand at the podium and say, 'You're fake news, you're fake news, you're fake news'? Wonder if we can appoint someone to do that for us while Biden's in office." 2 Democrat lawmakers carjacked within 16 hours of each other. As crime rates rise in cities that have reduced funding to police departments, 2 Democrats were carjacked, one in Philadelphia and the other in Chicago. When asked, the spokesperson for Citizens for Defunding the Police said, "This is what happens in a free society. It's about time everyone in this country can get what they want." Just think about it. Just a year ago, those 2 hard-working carjackers wouldn't have been able to own such nice things. A 13-year border agent warned Biden that his vaccine mandate on federal employees will exponentially increase the border crisis, as many agents will resign instead of being vaccinated. White House stated, "The current policies are addressing 2 issues that is plaguing this nation. One, as people quit their federal employment, it will reduce government spending, putting more money back into the taxpayers' pockets. And 2, we will have finally realized John Lennon's dream of imagine a world without countries. It isn't hard to do." Senator revealed in an audio Wednesday that he would absolutely consider another run for president. Senator Cruz, known for his constant whining and complaining about big tech censorship, yet does absolutely nothing about it but asking Mark Zuckerberg tough questions once a year during the Senate hearings. Said, if you think I can whine and complain about big tech censorship as a senator, just imagine the whining and complaining I could do with a presidential microphone. Facebook announced that it will be donating to Cruz's presidential campaign. Senator John Cornyn, a Texas Republican, reached out to Democrat West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin to switch to the Republican Party by text message after the Democrat voted with the Republicans against Biden's massive spending bill. When asked why the Republican didn't send a formal letter or meet with the Democrat, the Republican said, that is so 90s. Everything is done by texting. You should be asking me your questions by texting. The WHO took aim at the wealthier countries' vaccine booster programs and accused them of prolonging the vaccine pandemic. Blanket booster programs will prolong the pandemic by diverting supplies to countries who are already vaccinated, keeping supplies from countries that have little vaccination rates. Bill Gates, who has already made billions from the pandemic, said in a blunt statement to the WHO, "Exactly, and it's working." Senator Rand Paul calculated his annual federal spending waste. According to his numbers, government boondoggles exceeded $52 billion. That much money could have built 13,149 miles of four-lane highways. His colleagues in the Senate stared blankly at him while one spoke up and said, "With all due respect, Senator Paul, but who cares? It's not our money." Not to be outdone, Senator Cruz immediately spoke up and said, "Facebook, Google, and Twitter needs to answer for their censoring of conservative voices." President Biden was asked about running again in 2024. Biden replied, if he is in good health, he would run again, leaving one Midwesterner to say, "Whew, I was concerned he was going to run again." Some California schools are eliminating D's and F's on their scorecards. High schoolers who fail tests on homework assignments can do it over. This from a state that is 50th lowest in literacy. In a statement, Bette Miller says, "You mean West Virginia is smarter than California? Who knew?" After a group of dogs reportedly killed a baby monkey in a town in India, something like a real-life Planet of the Apes played out. Getting revenge, the monkeys set out killing any dog they found. They would take these dogs anywhere high off the ground and throw it to its death. The monkeys have allegedly, we have to use the word allegedly until they're proven guilty by a jury of their peers, killed at least 250 dogs. 20th Century Studios has secured the movie rights and in the process of finding an actor that looks and sounds like Charles Heston. New data from the UK indicates that the effectiveness of the Pfizer vaccine booster preventing Omicron drops considerably within the first 10 weeks, but also showed that protection afforded by Moderna's boosters remains relatively strong for a longer period of time. During a recent poll, people were asked which one they liked better. Coca-Cola came in first with 55%, Pepsi came in second with 45%. It's only been 3 weeks since the Omicron hit news broadcasts. Already it's the country's dominant variant, with its responsible for 75% of all news broadcasts. Prosecutors are recommending a Florida doctor who took part in the Capitol riots be ordered to 2 months in home confinement. The doctor pled guilty to one count of demonstrating or picketing inside the Capitol. Wait, what? There seems to be a misprint here, sorry. Either he rioted or demonstrated and picketed. CNN, the most trusted name in news. Greta Thunberg has decried the possible inclusions of nuclear in the EU's Green Investment Plan. Even though nuclear energy has proven the most safe and clean energy throughout its history. Greta said, "How dare you?" Kamala Harris turned to Hillary Clinton on winning public favor. In recent months, the VP has been losing favor with voters, and she's been gaining counsel from many, including Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was flattered and gave this advice: anytime you speak in public, you must always look very angry. Wag your finger at the camera, and always, and this is an absolute must, always blame a man. The last piece of advice Hillary gave was, it doesn't hurt if your husband cheated on you. New unofficial polls show that 10% of the population are gullible and will believe anything you tell them. The poll was conducted after the anchor of Off-Grid News reported that a black hole suddenly appeared next to the sun and was turning space and time inside out. When Trump said he appreciated President Biden's acknowledgement to get the vaccine out quickly. Dozens of people immediately fact-checked the statement, finding no evidence of black holes near our sun. Many demanded a retraction and an apology for fear-mongering. Off-Grid News responded by saying, "Really?" The Secret Service reported nearly $100 billion stolen from Pandemic Relief Fund last week. The department released a statement noting it had recovered $35 million from more than 150 defendants who wrongfully obtained stimulus checks. The White House said in response, "Who cares? It's not our money." Not to be outdone, Senator Cruz said big tech needs to be held accountable for censoring conservative speech. According to multiple reports, Iran launched over a dozen ballistic missiles as a warning to Israel. When asked, Biden stated, "Nuh-uh, that's not possible. Reagan freed those hostages back in the 80s, referring to the 52 hostages that were held by Iran for 444 days, which were released on Inauguration Day, January 20th, 1981, without any military action. Biden continues saying, "I remember it like it was yesterday. My good buddy Ronnie came down to the coal mine I was working and said, 'Joe, I need you to lead a team in and get those people out.' I led SEAL Team 6 with 2 helicopters. The one I was in was shot down by an RTV, or, whatever you call them, rocket thingies. Anyways, my chopper went down. I had to carry 2 sailors over my shoulders to the support chopper. By the time we got there, I was the only one left. I got those people out of there, and we flew that chopper back to the aircraft carrier USS Joe Biden." Kamala Harris says not getting out of D.C. more is her biggest failure as VP. Since she has gotten the southern border running smoothly again, since Trump messed it up with that stay in Mexico policy, some noted that she looked angry, kept blaming men, and wagging her finger at the camera. Dr. Fauci said that he didn't believe face masks are going away anytime soon. One study shows it takes 8 times longer for masks to degrade in landfills than styrofoam cups. VP Harris said on Face the Nation that her biggest concern is being out of touch with the American people. She intends to consult Hillary Clinton, who recently read her presidential victory speech, completely aware she lost the election. A California woman entered a Rite Aid with a pickaxe as she went up and down the aisles, shoplifting a cart full of items, as she threatened other customers with the pickaxe. The police are currently searching for the woman, but unfortunately she likely won't be caught because she was wearing the required face mask. Police said it's unfortunate she brought the pickaxe because now we have to do an investigation. If she would have just taken her items like everyone else, she would not be in any trouble. One witness said, "I'm just glad she was wearing her face mask. If she wasn't wearing it, things could have gotten very dangerous very quickly. We sure dodged a bullet with that one." U.S. Navy ship USS Milwaukee remains in port after an outbreak of the virus. The crew is 100% fully vaccinated. A Navy spokesperson said the vaccine continues to demonstrate effectiveness against the virus. He actually said that. That's not a satire. China said the U.S. law banning products produced by slaves is blasphemy against democracy. They actually said that. That's not satire. These jokes write themselves. So that's all the news that's not fit to print. Please click subscribe. Do me a favor, share this with your friends on other social media sites. Thanks for watching.